cheerful musician and listening to his message of hope.
At 16, at the verge of committing suicide, just lost everything. No perspective and no purpose in life. And I went to a youth gathering and I heard the voice of Jesus. He said, Benny, even though you are called useless, I still need you. I said, Jesus, why do you need me? In fact, the teachers asked my parents to take me off the school from high school because they never had a failure in the history of that school, and I was going to create history by being the first failure. In fact, they called my parents and said, please take your son away from the school because if he continues, the academic level of the school will come down. Now, I never knew that my educational qualification was so important to the school that my one result affected 1,000 students and their future. But this is how I was treated. And I had nothing. And here Jesus says, I need you. I said, why? You know, today I'm an artist. There are different stuff that I have done by God's grace. And only He gets the glory. Nobody gets the glory. And a couple of months ago I was in Nigeria. And they invited me to do some important thing there were many presidents and prime ministers over there and some miscommunication and I was not able to play in the morning. And I'm sitting there all alone. Nobody comes to say hello. Nobody's interested because nobody knows me, which is good. And I was there all alone. And in the evening, suddenly before closing the event, they asked me to play the song which I'm going to play for you all this evening. And I shared a bit about my life and I started to play. And the president could not sit in a seat, the former president actually, Obasanjo. He got up, 72-year-old man, gets up and he comes to the stage and he starts to watch my fingers. How can an arthritic patient move his fingers like this? How can a person who was told that will never be a musician could play a song like this? Being amazed at these things, after that he hugs me. Instantly, everybody is interested in me. Whole day I was sitting, nobody wanted me. And suddenly, everybody wants to know what I had for lunch. They want to know, they're interested how I came here. They want to know if I have a ride to go back. And suddenly, so much interested in me in 5 minutes. Including the president. He said, Benny, today is my 72nd birthday and you have to come home for dinner. But see, my friends, many times this is how the world is. They're only interested in what you have, in the talents and the gifts. But I want to tell you, at 16, when I had nothing, no health, no money, no talent, no value, no friends, and Jesus says, Benny, I want to be your friend. I need you. And I'll tell you, when I gave my life to Jesus, He said, Benny, I have a plan for your life. And one of them is, I want to make you a blessing to the nations. I said, God, I'm an Indian. How can an Indian be a blessing to the nations? I straight, he's my friend. We can talk to him. And I talked to him. I said, how? Lord, I have nothing. He said, but Benny, I'm going to make you a blessing to the nations. And you know, when God says something, He really means it. And secondly, when God gives you a plan, He does not need your ideas and your help to fulfill that. Right? Right? So, when Jesus told that He was going to make me a blessing to the nations, I did not go to the bank and take a loan and start to be a blessing to the nations. No. I said, Jesus, if this is your idea, may you be my provider and you only. Because you are all sufficient. I don't need plan B. I don't need plan C because my plan A with Jesus works all the time. So with that, I started to travel. And today, this is how my passport looks. This is my one passport. And Jesus has taken me to 216 countries debt-free. Debt-free. My dear friends, if there is anyone here with those doubts, it's a clear truth right now as I'm standing, a testimony, that if Jesus was willing to use a broken life, a useless child, a written off child, to making history. In fact, 4 years ago in India, they gave me an award. And they wrote in the record books as the most traveled Indian musician in the history of my country. Now, how can a worthless, useless child become a history maker? It is only possible with Jesus. And that Jesus wants to work in your life today. He's not just the God of yesterday, but He's the God of today and tomorrow and forever. Amen. And if there is anyone here, you have just lost everything. You feel like you are all alone. I want to tell you, my friends, I was there. And Jesus found me. Until today, He has never failed me. And that same Jesus wants to be your friend. And He wants to give you a new hope and a new future. The song that I'm going to play is called My Jesus, My Savior, Lord, There Is None Like You. The whole idea came up was in 2004, I was invited to play for the Olympic Games in Greece. Jesus gave the idea to design this guitar and to give me the idea to put bongos inside the guitar, and it became the world's first guitar with drums inside. There's no big deal in putting drums inside, but nobody has done that. No? And my dear friends, Jesus can transform your creativity. He can transform. Look at these fingers. The doctors told Benny, your fingers can never play the guitar anymore in your life because of arthritis. My immune system is broken down. But I'm going to just display what Jesus could do, not what my fingers. My fingers, I cannot play. But I'm going to play this song just to share and give the glory.